Welcome to Star Wars Versus, a new mini-series where we look into different matchups within the Star Wars universe. This week we'll be looking into a trooper one-on-one between the Republic Clone Troopers and First Order Stormtroopers. For the purposes of this face-off, we will imagine both are well-trained up to their respective faction standard and are placed in an empty arena to battle it out. Who wins? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Now, before we get into this, I just want to remind those who haven't yet already to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on all of my latest videos, along to not miss out on any other upcoming Star Wars content. Now, on to the video. In Star Wars Versus, we'll judge on 3 different categories: offense, defense, and abilities, which also includes general battle experience. First up, Clone Troopers. Mass-produced soldiers who were cloned from the famed bounty hunter Jango Fett and genetically modified with several physical improvements, all done to properly combat an almost endless droid army posing as a galactic threat. Clone Troopers came in many different specialized classes, but for this face-off we'll be only looking at the standard Clone Trooper soldier. For offense, clones were armed with the DC-15 blaster rifle and the DC-15A blaster for long-range combat, as well as blaster pistols for standard range combat. They also wielded several different types of grenades, including electromagnetic pulse grenades and thermal detonators. For defense, clones wore armor that the armor smiths of Kamino designed after the Mandalorian armor worn by Jango Fett. For the Phase 2 armor specifically, it incorporated advanced air filtration and an oxygen supply system, polarized lenses, and an annunciator to make speech more comprehensible. In addition, the boots were magnetized and incorporated a grav field alternator to ensure stability. Another useful feature was that the armor and the bodysuit could be pressurized, allowing the clones to fight longer in a vacuum environment. For abilities, we'll count the genetic physical enhancements that clones received during their creation in cloning pods on Kamino. These abilities, such as improved speed, agility, and strength, were enhancements offered by the Kaminoans after tampering with Jango Fett's DNA, as without these, it would be more difficult for the troopers to defeat separatist droids when often being outnumbered. It was also one of the main selling points for the Republic to consider clones, as not only could they be created in many batches at once, but they were designed for war. Soldiers capable of far more than your regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill human soldiers. Now, onto the First Order Troopers. These were the military infantry units of the First Order, whom wore armor inspired by the Clone Troopers and Imperial Stormtroopers. While some joined the ranks as adults, majority of the First Order Stormtroopers were trained either since birth or childhood. They're trained in the purpose of erasing the training mistakes that Imperial Stormtroopers had, and actually surpassed them as troopers. For offense, standard troopers were armed with the F-11D blaster rifle and SE-44C blaster pistol for weapons. There were also some troopers that were trained in melee combat and also had a Z6 riot control baton. But since standard troopers didn't have this, we won't be counting it. For defense, troopers wore an improved build of the Stormtrooper armor, which provided greater flexibility and were also equipped with a smoke filtration system and external tank hookup. As for abilities, the First Order Stormtroopers, like their Imperial counterparts, lacked in this area and did not have any so to speak of. Now, time to face off the two. For offense, the clones win in this category. The clone's basic blaster rifle, the DC-15, had a capacity of 300 shots on max power, and 500 shots on low power. Now, the First Order Trooper had a F-11D blaster rifle, and while the stats of this weapon are not yet fully revealed in canon, it is an upgraded version of the Imperial E-11, so we can base it off the E-11 stats somewhat. The standard E-11 only had 100 shots capacity, so it's safe to assume the F-11D had at least 200 shot capacity. However, this is still 100 shots less than the clone rifle, which gives the clones an advantage in this area. Furthermore, the clones also had 2 grenade options on hand to use if necessary. For defense, while both wore a similar white armor, clones win out here once again. Their armor simply had more features and was far more versatile. The First Order Trooper armor was also heavier and had far less mobility when compared to the clone armor. Finally, for abilities, the clones win here once again with no contest. Not just looking at the genetic enhancements they were given, clones also had a wealth of battle experience as they actually fought in a war. First Order Stormtroopers lacked an actual battle experience as majority of their lives were spent in training, hidden away in the unknown regions. When they would engage in battle, it wouldn't be against hordes of battle droids, but rather against unorganized space pirates and civilians. So in finishing, while First Order Stormtroopers may provide a greater challenge than the Imperial Stormtroopers, in a direct battle, the Clone Troopers will always remain favorites as the winner. So that's it for this episode of Star Wars Versus. Do you agree or disagree regarding the victor of this battle? Let me know in the comments down below and vote yourself for your Versus winner in the video poll. Also, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars Versus and plenty of other Star Wars content. As always, I'll see you guys on the next one.